Welcome back. Welcome. Welcome to those who are just joining us here in the studio for the first time. Welcome back to those who are in for the ride. Welcome to this is Practicing Positivity, the studio. I am Dr. Nicole, your guide alongside your positivity ride or die, your positivity champion for life. I believe what's in you is awesome. And I believe that for myself and for everybody else. So this studio, I've got my work apron on. I am ready to go to work. Got my positivity powered hat on. I am ready to go to work. So just to remind you what this place is, what we do here. So Practicing Positivity, as you can see below, listen, this is a shared learning lab for building this lifelong practice of the habit of nurturing what gives us energy, vitality, and a zest for life. And here, what we mean by life in the studio is life, love, those things that which inspire us, reconnecting to a sense of freedom and faithfulness to who and what we were created to be, what's in us to give to the world, creating an exceptional experience of this thing called life. So that said, remember when I came in yesterday, we are launching something big, and it's a 100-day journey of practicing positivity. Now, positivity, remember, as we talked about it yesterday, it's not a personality trait. It's a practice. It's a skill. And I personally believe it's a superpower that we can use to help us to continue to bring the best of who we are to whatever life throws at us, whatever emerges, whether that is a result of our own actions or just simply the way the cookie is crumbling. What positivity allows us to do is to not tune out, not hide, not put on rose-colored glasses. It allows us to bring the best of who we are, the best of who we've been, and the best of what we can conjure up about the future into that present moment. So that's the power of positivity. And that's why I'm so excited to be practicing positivity with you. Now, I want to say something about this 100-day journey thing. This 100-day journey, I am doing the 100-day journey. I'm doing the ultra marathon because that's what I need to do. I needed to be deep into this. I needed to take a running cannonball dive into the deep ocean. Not take a little, go to the baby pool every once in a while. I needed to really bring myself back to the life-giving waters of positivity, as it were. Now, I don't expect you all to necessarily do that unless you want to. You can pop in as you need to, pop in as as it feels right. So, I'd love to have you and invite you on the whole 100-day journey. But again, recognizing, obviously, as I said yesterday, life is busy and our schedules are full. There is a lot going on in the world right now. So you can certainly come in and view this on demand when you like, but I'll be here for the next 100 days. Sharing what I'm learning, what I'm rediscovering, what I'm uncovering, what I'm remembering and putting back together for myself as we continue to move forward through these next 100 days. So that said, remember how I said we were going to do this. This is how we're going to do it. So for the next 10 days in 10 minutes or less, and I'm almost 5 minutes in, 10 minutes or less, just 10 minutes or less, going to give you one insight about positivity, one practice that you can carry with you, and one little moment for you to just have a reflective pause. So a question that you can take with you to allow that practice to keep the dialogue going, to keep speaking to you, to keep bringing something forward for you. So that's going to be our power 3. Give you a little insight, give you a tool, a practice to work with, and then just a question to carry with you so that this practice, again, can continue to work in you, work on you, work through you. All right, that said, we're 5 minutes in. So here's what we want to do. Listen, today I want to talk about a practice, um, or the insight. You know how I don't know about you all, but there are certain things that, I just find myself when I'm not paying attention, I can really go in on myself, really give myself a hard way to go, and not finding a way to extend any grace. Like I find myself talking to myself in a way I wouldn't dare allow anybody else to speak to me. Or I wouldn't even let somebody else talk to another person that way. I don't know if you're like that, but I know that's me sometimes. So sometimes I have to find a way to stop that train. And specifically, it's when there's something that I've done or something that I thought I could have done better, or God, I really wanted that speech to go well, or I wanted that live stream to be perfect and it wasn't, or I kept missing my cue, or right, whatever it is, and I can't seem to jump past it. I can't seem to move through it. So here's something that I want to give you. If that's you, here's something that I want to give you again to insert some positivity in that moment. Dr. Barbara Frederickson has been studying the power of positive emotions for much of her career, and she's come up with what she calls the broaden and build theory. So getting a little technical, but here's basically what it means. She says this: listen, positive emotions, even a little bit of joy, a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of curiosity can create enough of a shift in our brain so that rather than fixating on the problem, fixating on the deficit, fixating on the breakdown, we're able to see what's possible beyond the breakdown. So here's how this can work. So let's actually put it to work. Think of that thing that you kind of have a hard time extending grace to yourself. It's hard to find a way in. It's hard to find a way where you can say, all right, that's what happened. Let's see, what can I learn here? So I want you to first get that instance, get that experience, get that thing in mind. And then I just want you to ask a very, very simple question. What's a more life affirming, energy elevating way for me to think about this? What's a more life giving way for me to think about myself in relation to this experience, in relation to this decision that I made, in relation to what happened? So make sure you write that down. Write that down, type it in your phone. What's a more life-giving way for me to think about myself in relation to that experience? Or what's a more life-affirming, energy elevating way for me to think about the whole situation as a whole? But I don't want you to stop there. I want you to put a little chaser. I want you to put a little chaser on that pattern interrupt. That chaser is, something like, okay, I can do hard things. I can recover from this. I can learn to be better with this. I can learn to make better decisions with my money. I can learn how to structure and organize my papers and spaces in my office so that I actually have calm and order and spaciousness instead of piles and piles of paper. I'm learning my way through. I'm learning forward. Now, the power of this, remember what Dr. Barbara is saying here. A little bit of positive emotion can go a long way. What it does is it broadens our perspective. So we're no longer fixating on the breakdown, but we're able to see some new possibilities. I've just given my brain a question to answer. What's a more life giving way for me to think about myself in relation to this? What's a more life affirming way for me to think about this situation? And when I give my brain a little bit more to go on, hey, I can actually, all right, yeah, I can learn my way through this. I'm learning to be better. I'm learning to be more organized. I'm in process, right? So that's your practice. I want you now, though, to make it real for you as we walk away from our practicing positivity time together today, I want you to, when you find those moments where you're, like I said before, you kind of talking sideways to yourself, talking to yourself in a way that is a little, it's just out of hand. Stop right there and say, hey, wait a minute, what's a more life affirming way for me to think about this situation? What is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? Hey, I can be better. I can do better with the right inputs, with the right supports, with the right information. Yeah, I could do something different here. So take that with you as you go forward, experiment. Now, here's my request to you. Listen, come back into the comments, share what's opening up for you, share how this is making a difference for you and what kind of difference it's making for you to be able to stop that train of negative thinking, to reroute the train and to be able to actually put some positivity around it and see what opens up. What can you now build with and build on as a result of this new way of thinking? That said, we are over time. So I just want to remind you, I'll be back tomorrow and for the next 97 days after that. So continue to practice positivity, bring it into your conscious sphere. Again, a little bit goes a long way. Okay, I will see you soon. I'm Dr. Nicole. Listen, this is where you can find me, tgcconsultinginc.com. I've got some wonderful things that I am putting in place for you guys. I am so excited. If you want more tools, prompts, practices to up level your positivity game, you can sign up at the link that you've seen at the bottom of your screen, and I will talk with you tomorrow. In the meantime, share this. If this is going to be a blessing for somebody that you know, if this is going to be something that's going to help them or just shine a little light their way, share wildly, share freely, and share often. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.